Welcome to Let's Talk. My name is Goddess Empress Amin Ra, and I am here with my co-host.
My name is DJ Almighty. I'm in Rock. Good morning.
Good morning, Almighty. How you feeling today?
I'm doing great, Empress. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Okay, guys. So as you guys know, we have been dropping a five-part series. We left off on uh, chapter 8. Today we're gonna be dropping two parts today because we are like a day behind. So we're gonna drop part 3, which is chapters 8 through 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to come back after church and we're going to drop uh, part 4, which is chapters 12, 13, 14, and 15. What do you think about that, Almighty?
That sounds good.
Okay, cool. You want to give them a recap of what we read about so far? Catch them up, the ones who haven't been watching?
Yes, yes. We in the process of what reading the part where young Diddy became Diddy the Diddler. He, he was trying Tupac up real hard in that
Right.
last series we read, measuring dick sizes and shit. Pac wasn't trying to feel that shit.
Right, and Kim kind of dropped some tea where she kind of talked about him sleeping with Jamie Foxx. Also, that he and Jay Z shared a bed, as well as she kept stressing about how much he enjoyed. He kept trying to get her to have anal sex with him. And let's see. Oh, yeah, she dropped hints to him having sex with Albie Shore. And what else? What I'm missing?
Uh, he plotted to kill
Yes. Um,
Pac.
and yes, he's plotting. Not plotting. He plotted to kill Tupac. Well, he actually placed, from what she's saying, she was in the room when he placed a hit on Tupac the first time. I don't know if he did it the second and third time. I'm assuming, you know, he kind of struck up a beef to try to make it seem like Biggie um, was talking about him and his diss track, but it was actually a diss track for LL Cool J. And he ended up trying to make it seem like that Who Shot You was meant for Tupac. And that kind of like started the whole East Coast, West Coast beef.
Right, that song came out way before Tupac got shot. Everybody knows that. But that's the way he played it out back then. We didn't know that back then.
Right.
You know, no internet like that, back then.
Did I miss anything? What else did she? Oh, she also hinted around to. Hopefully later on down in the book we'll see more information. She mentioned in the disclaimer that about Albie Shore and Jamie Foxx getting ill. It may have been foul play or some poisoning inside going on. Did we cover everything? That's basically the gist of what we've read so far.
Right, right, right.
And keep in mind, guys, all this stuff is allegedly. We don't know for sure um, if these are even Kim words, whether let alone whether or not it's real. So all these are alleged events.
Right.
So again, for those of you who are just tuning in, we have been reading Kim's Lost Words. We are at part 3 of the series. There's supposed to be a 5-part series, but today we're gonna drop 2 parts. We're gonna start with series part 3 of the series, where I'm gonna be reading chapters 8 through 11, and then after church we'll probably jump back on here and drop the next part of the series, which is part 4, and that'll be 11 through 15. I'm
Yep.
sorry, 14. Excuse me.
Must, must we go to church?
Yes, we going to church, and don't start. All right,
All
so
right.
without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so we stopped off on chapter 8. All right. Uh, Let's get to chapter 8 right quick, guys. Get bear with me. 7 and 8. All right. Chapter 8 is entitled Kadada. Actress, model, and fashion designer Kadada Jones was Tupac Shakur's fiancée and the daughter of the record producer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton. Being around other celebrities was just a part of life. Meeting Kadada was just one of those events. And at the time we went on, and as time went on, we became close. We hung out together, went shopping, and so on. It was about the same time I met Kimura. Those were the days, or so I thought. We always had girl talk, and the fact that she was dating someone I had previously been with wasn't a source of contention. We didn't get jealous of each other. It was just girl talk stuff. No, I did not become intimate with Kadada. Kimura was too jealous for that. Yes, Kadada knew about Kimura. Sean and I all being together sexually. So, let me start right there. Kimura is Kimura Simmons. I just want to let you. I'm gonna start pointing out who these people are as we read along. So, Kadada Jones is Quincy Jones' daughter, and Kimura is Kimura Simmons, Russell Simmons' wife. All right. Kadada knew about Kimura, Sean, and I all being together sexually. Of course, she did. We shared that kind of thing. We were open and honest with each other about almost everything. A true friendship, except I couldn't be open and honest about everything. Not anymore. Sean made sure of that. Kadada and Pac were the greatest couple. He was always so cool and yes sexy. She was so beautiful and fun. Before all the tension and beef, we used to all hang out together. It was always dope vibes. But with Pac's shooting and the suspicion surrounding Sean and Jimmy, the vibes between Kadada and I weren't always perfect. Then came that night. Award shows weren't anything new for us at this point. We dolled up as the men groomed. We didn't choose what we wore. A stylist prepared our color palettes. A makeup artist did our makeup. And a hairstylist did our hair. This was just the way of things. We shared the best stylists in the business. Sometimes we would all go to the studio for an event to get our measurements taken. But this time, Kadada seemed different. I felt like something was wrong. But when I probed her, she wouldn't say anything. Then the day of the event was here. We would all see each other outside. Even though Sean was my man, as far as props, I had nothing on Kadada. Being Quincy Jones' daughter had perks, and superstardom was among them. Pac was there. Pac wasn't there. When she saw us, she came over to our table. We sat around kicking it in a very dope vibe. Sean knew he was going to clean up this award show. He had all but taken over the East Coast musically. With all the hits, there really was no way he wouldn't. Bad Boy is Hall of Fame stuff now, and Sean P. Diddy Combs knew it. Sean smiled at Kadada as she sat at our table, but something about that smile didn't seem authentic. Soon I would know why. He's sick when he holds a grudge. When he has a grudge against someone. As he sat, Sean said, "Bad Boy is going to clean the fuck up." From his table with Faith, Chris replied, "Hell yeah." And that new shit was busting. Hold on. And that new shit was busting. Wait a minute. I got lost my place. And that new shit was busting out. Gonna have these niggas sick. Kadada signaled for the waiter to pour her a glass of ginger ale that sat over at her table. As the waiter refreshed her drink, she said, "Pac's music's gonna get some love too." Sean grimaced. "Oh, come on, Sean. I know y'all got your differences, but you have to admit the man makes great music." Sean looked at me out the corner of his eye, then took another sip of his favorite cognac and replied, "Bad Boy got the hottest music on the fucking planet, but I ain't tripping. Everybody get their shine, right?" Kadada sighed. "Sean, Tupac thinks you're involved with him getting shot. You two were so close. You need to make this right. Sean responded indignantly. Why the fuck would that nigga think I had anything to do with it? Kadada retorted. Sean, can you blame him? Sean was obviously not happy with that question by his reply. Hell yeah, I blame him. We had a good thing going, all of us. That nigga turned on me, and he has the fucking balls to blame me for his shooting. The indignity he managed to spew out while lying through his teeth was something I did not expect. I was thrown back for a moment before interjecting. Da, do we have to do this tonight? It's Sean's big night. Kimura heard the ruckus and made her way over to the table as well. She sat down and said, hey everybody, with that big dimple smile. I smiled and replied, hey. Kadada also seemed happy to see her as she said, hey, what up, Kimmy? Kimura, never the type to hold her tongue, went straight at it. The whole place is buzzing with the fact you're sitting here accusing Sean of having Pac shot. Y'all kinda loud. She laughed. Kadada seemed embarrassed as she looked around to see everybody staring and whispering. But she wasn't about to back off. In fact, she doubled down. Anybody here not talking about it ain't real anyway. We all know Sean was behind it. Kimura forced a smile. Honey, we don't have to do this here. Kadada made clear she was not to be silenced as she continued. Oh, let's not hurt the feelings of Sean Puffy Combs. He had one of the most prolific rappers in the game shot. Sean clenched his fist. Excuse me. Sean clenched his hands into a fist. If this was anyone else, this would have turned ugly. But this was Quincy Jones' daughter. Sean was a monster in the streets, well feared by men that knew. But he did not want any smoke from Quincy Jones. Excuse me. He did not want any smoke Quincy Jones could bring. Kadada could continue with impunity. Sean could not touch her. Christopher and Mary, both wanting to defend the super producer that made them famous, both started to stand and make their way over to the table, but Sean signaled them off with a firm motion of his hand. They remained in their seats watching helplessly. Kadada seemed to be on full rampage. You're not safe in the streets, Shans. You think you're untouchable. Kimura seemed almost red in the face when she grabbed Kadada by the hand saying, I gotta go to the restroom. Kadada, not willing to stop, snatched her hand away, yelling, let go of me. Kimura needed her to get a grip and said sternly as a parent speaking to a child mid-tantrum, Da. Kadada turned to her and yelled, what? Kimura nodded towards the crowd in the room, and Kadada looked around. Here she deflated slightly. Kimura, now in control, spoke firm but softly. Let's go powder our nose. Kadada nodded with a grimace and gave a sharp look back at Sean as she walked away. As the tension slowly melted away, I asked Sean, you okay? Sean didn't reply at first. He looked around, saw that no one was really paying attention now that the ruckus had died down, and stood to get the picture of ginger ale from Kadada's table. He poured himself a drink from it, looked around again, saw no one was paying attention, and put the pitcher under the table. What was he doing? Then I heard a distinct sound of liquid being poured into liquid. Oh my God. Is he peeing in the pitcher? Oh my God, this bitch is sick. He smiled at me as he brought the pitcher back from under the table and finally replied to me, I'm good. He then stood and returned the pitcher to the table. I was in awe. I knew he had a bad temper, but this was disgusting. I'll never eat or drink something after we have an argument again. Kadada and Kimura made their way back to Kadada's table to sit as Sean watched on quietly. Sean made small talk. Which songs do y'all think they'll give me awards for? As Kadada poured her drink, Sean's bodyguard made his way over to the table. I think he stopped her from drinking, as everyone else just sat and watched. Jean risked incurring Sean's wrath. If I'm right, relived, I replied. Baby, your catalog is crazy. It could be lots of songs. Sean glared at Kadada tables the whole entire night. Alright, let's stop right here for a minute. Wait. Okay. So Kadada comes over to the table and accuses Sean of placing a hit or having Tupac shot. And this dude actually pissed in her ginger ale.
Yeah, that motherfucker was sick. That nigga had a big old, he had a big ass narcissist for sure.
Like, who does that? And then that really should have made Kim Porter think like, if he did this to her, what has he done when he got upset with me?
Exactly.
Like, this is crazy.
I don't know, but she should have been gone a long time ago.
A very, very long time ago.
I
Oh
don't
my
know if she
God.
was scared or she just was just that in love. I don't know, but this nigga was sick as fuck.
There's not enough love in the world for somebody to stick with somebody that they know is putting hits on people. They know is doing all kinds of crazy things like drugging people and allegedly. Um, I don't know. I just feel like Kim Porter should have left a long time ago. And the fact, if she had still been alive, this tell-all book would have had her in just as much trouble as him.
Oh yeah, because she's an accessory.
Yeah, she would have been considered accessory to the crimes that took
She
place.
knew all that shit.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next chapter. Let's see, where were we? All right, chapter 9. Going back to Cali. We had a wild night. It was after one of Sean's infamous parties. Everyone was there, and we not only had threesomes, but we also swapped partners. Our sex life was crazy, but I got to do things with Sean I would never have been able to do with a straight man. Sean cared about me, but it was becoming more and more obvious that he preferred men. I was beginning to think I was there more to cover his wild desires than because he really wanted to be with me. He was like Caesar, every woman's man and every man's woman. But truthfully, at that stage, I was becoming okay with it. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was with Jada Pinkett, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with XXX and Will Smith. Okay, let me stop right here for a second. So we already know that some people in the book is referred to XXX. So we're not really sure who this XXX is. Because it, excuse me, it didn't really say who XXX was, but we do see that Kim Porter is coming out the room with Jada Smith, and Sean is coming out of the room with XXX and Will Smith. Yes, XXX attended the parties from time to time. I could see him and Will kind of snuggled up on the bed together. So whoever this XXX was, he was snuggled up with Will Smith because P. Diddy was coming out the room as Jada Pickett and Kimora was coming out of the other room. Okay, so let me just reread this part again so you guys can keep it in context. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was with Jada Pickett, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with XXX and Will Smith. Yes, XXX attended the parties from time to time. I could see him and Will kind of snuggled up on the bed together. I was grateful I wasn't asked to join in that room. I didn't really like XXX. Sean smiled when he saw me. Good morning. Here at the orgies, here at the orgies, he wasn't very affectionate. He didn't have to pretend, but he couldn't walk straight. He couldn't walk straight. I knew how his ass felt literally. We've had sessions playing with each other's anal cavities. I wanted to become I wanted to be home before Quincy woke up, so I told him I'm getting ready to go. He responded, "Let's have a cup of coffee first." This meant he wanted to talk. I didn't know what this was about, but in situations like this, I didn't really have a choice. He was becoming more violent when he didn't get what he wanted, and I didn't really want to fight. So I sat down, but before we started talking, XXX came out of the room. Sean was wearing boxers. XXX was in his birthday suit. XXX addressed us morning. When he turned around in order to close the door, there was a dried cum stain on his back. XXX walked over, pulled a chair out to sit down next to us, and lit up a blunt. Sean stretched, smiled, and said, This this East Coast West Coast beef is more lucrative than I thought, but it's getting dangerous. XXX responded, surprised. Business first thing in the morning? Damn, cuz, you own it. But you know you don't but you don't got nothing to worry about. You got a pass, daddy. XXX smiled coyly. Sean apparently has something to talk about with XXX as well because he said, I can't protect everybody, especially if someone is no longer going to be on my label. It was apparent XXX wasn't It was apparent XXX was taken back by the turn of events by his reply. Sean, are you saying what I think you're saying? Sean continued. It's taxing on my resources to protect people. Someone that isn't 100% on my team can't get 100% of my protection. What the hell is going on here? What does Sean want from me? This morning is turning out to be way more than I expected, and I have to go. Quincy will be looking for me. Meanwhile, XXX apparently wanted clarity. So to be clear, if something happened, XXX made quotation marks with his fingers, to one of your artists that was leaving your label anyway, it would be considered he makes another set of quotations out of your control. Is that what you're saying? Wait a minute. Can they be talking about Biggie? Is Sean saying he won't protect Biggie? At this point, I was too young, too naive, too hungover to understand that this was not a lack of protection. This was a hit. Where did this come from this morning? But this text is kind of blurry. But an older, wiser me understands now what I did not comprehend all those years ago. Sean was just getting to Sean was just getting to the real reason that he had XXX there. The world was about to lose Biggie. XXX laughed. You cold motherfucker, Sean said. Why the fuck should I protect someone that isn't gonna stick around? I made him. That nigga should be worshiping the ground I fucking walk on. I was thinking Sean's ego is rearing its ugly head, and I wanted to get out of there. But instincts told me I need to tread carefully, so my next move had to be calculated. I don't really want any part of this, not even implicitly. But I was just dragged right into the middle of it. If what was happening here ever comes out, will I be held as an accomplice? Yeah. But even as those thoughts crossed my mind, I couldn't just pretend this was okay. So I said, but Sean, he hasn't left yet. They're just rumors. Are you going to let him die because of some rumors? Sean glared at me, the anger in his voice obviously stemming from hurt, as he said, I know when I'm being betrayed. I am not killing anyone, but I am not protecting somebody that doesn't have my back 150%. Fuck that. This was really out of control. My mind began to race. Is there a way to get through to him? Maybe I could use the finance route. Sean, he's bringing in so much money. You put so much money into cultivating him. Are you going to throw away all that money? That's when he revealed how. Hold on, I think this is out of order. That's when he revealed how thought out this meeting really was. If he leaves, he takes all the money I invested into creating him. Sean sighs, but if he can't protect himself and something terrible does happen, then the money I would have made then the money I would make off his death would blow away all the money he made so far. I was perplexed. Sean, he continued, he's worth more to me dead than alive. Sean Combs is a calculated monster. XXX chimes in. I get that, fam. A lot of people out there want Biggie dead too. Without your protection, he doesn't stand a chance in Cali. Biggie is going to die. This is crazy. I dare not say anything else about it. Sean smiles and stands to walk over to the safe. To walk over to a safe behind a picture. There he pulls out a bag marked with XXX name. He turns to XXX and says, "That's why you're worth your weight in gold. You understand me? Here's a little something for you to take care of my people." XXX smiles. "Sean, I love you, baby. You know I got your back. Your problems are my problems. I'll make sure to have my people take care of your people. I need to get out of here. This is crazy." I attempted to leave again. Sean, I want to get to Chris. Sean, I want to get to Quincy before he wakes up. Sean looks at me, responding, "It's getting late. Give him a kiss for me. I'm I'm going to get out of here. Thank God." XXX always with something to say. I love to meet the little tyke sometime. Not a chance in hell. Something about this guy creeps me out. I forced a smile. That would be great. I made my exit. Alright. I kind of stumbled through this chapter because the words are kind of blurry where I'm viewing this at. But Almighty, what do you think about this?
Well, that was very interesting. I had to step away from it, but yes, did he? He was something else, really.
Well, since you had to step away, let me just recap really quick what happened. So basically, they woke up the next morning. Jada Pickett, I guess, she was doing her thing with Kim Porter, and Will Smith and whoever this XXX person is, um, and P Diddy, they was doing their thing in another room. So Jada Pickett and Kim Porter comes out the room at the same time that P Diddy is coming out the room, and then so she's getting ready to. Excuse me. She wanted to. Kim Porter was getting ready to leave, but P Diddy told her that let's have coffee. That means he wanted to talk to her. So they goes in his room, and then that XXX person joins them, and they began to talk about not give. He began to talk about not giving protection to Biggie. And then so Kim is trying to talk him out of letting him die, or putting a hit on him or whatever, because she's like, he's made so much money for you and yada yada yada. And then so P Diddy gets up and goes over to a safe and give this XXX person the money to make sure that Biggie is taken care of when he goes out to Cali. So this is crazy. So now he didn't just place the hit on Tupac, he also done put a hit out on Biggie.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad you
yeah.
said
It just it's a shame because the way he was thinking is like, well, he's better off dead than alive anyway. He'll make more money.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the part that was just like, this man is freaking diabolical. Like, if this is true, because allegedly we don't know if any of this is true, but if this is true, this just goes to show the level of the level of just the diabolical level of how deep this really got with P Diddy. Like, this man, I don't know. I was trying to find empathy for P Diddy, but the more I read, the less empathy I have for him.
Well, I would never thought this nerd looking lame-o would be doing such
Right?
devious
He
shit.
doesn't even look the type, right?
I mean, you can't. I guess you just can't judge the books by its cover. I mean,
Right.
that's man. This little motherfucker was shit.
Right, because
Oh, before I walked off, did I hear you say he couldn't walk after he got plugged?
right. She said, "Oh, I forgot about that part." When they came out the room, oh, I don't know if that was in the. Wait a minute. I don't. I'm mixing the chapters up. I don't know if that was in this chapter or the previous chapter, but I'm thinking it was this one where he came out the room and he couldn't walk. Oh yes, it was this one because she said, "I'm glad I wasn't invited into that room with XXX because she don't like whoever this XXX person is." Kim Porter didn't like them, so she didn't want to be invited into that room. But she can tell that his behind was really hurting him. So
So, the X person was the one that was giving Diddy back shots. That's what you were saying, right?
I don't.
He was getting the back shots from the XXX person, correct? That's what you're saying.
I don't really know if he was the one getting the back shots from XXX or it could have been Will Smith. We don't know who was plugging who. I'm sure
Oh,
they
Will
are.
Smith was there too? Oh
Yes.
my God.
Okay.
See, I told him it's all that.
Oh my God! I just recapped. I just told you that. I just told you that Jada Pinkett was in the room with Kim Porter. All right, and then Will Smith, whoever this XXX person is, and P Diddy was in the room together. So they probably was backshotting each other. Everybody probably took turns backshotting. I don't know. Allegedly.
So you said they had some kind of centipede three-way going on. That was just, that was just saying.
I didn't say that. No.
Everybody was getting back shots. One thrust fed them all.
I, I, I didn't say that, but it sounds like it could have been what happened. It definitely sounds like there was some back shots being given.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Okay, I'm moving on. Chapter 10, The Lies You Tell. At this point, the relationship between Sean and I had been off and on for quite a while, and we were off at this point. He had put his hands on me again, this time for something that didn't even happen. It was all in his head. When the phone rang, I picked it up anyway. Hi, Sean. He sounded trepidatious as he said, "We've been broken up for a while this time." Yeah, he continued. "I don't want anyone to know about my." He paused to search for the right words. What is this word? I can't see. Uh, Proclivities. Okay, I replied, "So you don't want people to know about you being gay?" Sean exploded. "See, that's why I fucking lose control on you. So I, so I just plainly stated, goodbye, Sean." "Wait," he screamed. "What, Sean?" "I'm sorry, okay?" "You're always fucking sorry." He took a deep breath. "I have to do something to cover myself." I sighed. "Do whatever you fucking want. Sean, when you see this in the news, it's all..." Hold on, Sean. Oh, this is Sean talking now. "When you see this all in the news, it's not real." This made me calm down a moment. What could he be talking about? He continued. "I'm only doing it for the press." "Doing what, Sean?" After a long pause, he continued. "She knows what this is. She is just pretending to cover me." "Sean, what the hell are you talking about?" Another pause. "Publicly. I'm going to be dating someone else. A video girl." I laughed. "Why would you do that?" "I have to cover myself." I was getting mad. I was actually angrier at myself more than at him. Why was I getting jealous? I was sitting there actually comparing myself to a video vixen in my head. In my mind. They are thick, but look at my body. Did he prefer them light skinned, big butt girls from videos? I calmed myself. No, I know he likes men any damn way. As I regained control, I asked, "Why the hell are you telling me?" He sighed. "I wanted you to find out from me first. Like I give a shit." He came at me with his favorite line, "You know I love you." It was getting old. I could only think to myself, here we go. Love is a big, strong word. I'm tired of him throwing it around and using it when it fits his needs. He's using it while he's sitting here telling me about dating someone else. I replied, "You don't hit people you love, Sean. Love doesn't hurt." He sucked his teeth as he responded, "Come on, are you serious? That shit's for children. We aren't in fucking high school. Sometimes things happen. That doesn't mean I don't love you. I wouldn't hit you if I didn't." What the fuck? Wait. That sounded wrong. You said exactly what you meant. He took a breath. That was an awkward silence. The fact I was still on the phone and waiting for him to speak meant he had the power. He was more cautious as he continued. He didn't want to lose that power. "Kim, no one that I don't care about can bring that kind of emotion out of me." I wanted to say, "Is that how you talk to dudes after using butt plugs?" But there's a line I dare not cross. Instead, I said, "You say that while dating other You say that while dating some other bitch. That's just for the public. I was done. It could be heard in my voice as I said, whatever, Sean. Do what you need to do. Leave me alone. I'm never giving up on us, he cried. I responded to that emotional control attempt with the little resolve I could muster. I didn't even believe the words that came tr- tumbling out of my mouth. Sean, there is no us anymore. Goodbye. Tell Quincy I miss him. He threw out. His emotional manipulation was really driving me crazy. This time I said with much more conviction, goodbye, Sean. I hung up. Manipulative bastard. Well, so in this chapter, basically they was already split up anyway, so he called to let her know that he's gonna be dating a video vixen. We all know how that goes. And can you believe what he said about I would if I didn't love you I wouldn't hit you. Wow. This
Diddy was crazy as hell, man.
the
That
co-
damn Diddy say he ain't gay. God damn it.
the
Don't you
co-
try him up like that.
the kahunas on this bastard. This nigga got some big ass kahunas. Okay.
Yes, indeed, he do.
So I wouldn't hit you if I didn't love you. And then he gonna talk about tell Quincy I miss him. Why? I wonder why men do that. They think if they throw a little butter on top of somebody else's children, that's just gonna wing the woman right back in.
Well, you know how that shit go.
Yeah, I know how it shouldn't go.
It shouldn't go to Diddy way. No Diddy.
All right, so let's get through this last chapter before we close out and before we recap and close out. All right, chapter 11, more problems. For a while, I was actually happy to see Sean gone. I was getting older, and the sex parties were out of control. It was getting time for me to slow down. Quincy was getting older. I knew if I kept going, the rumors circulating were going to eventually find a way to get back to him. What will he think of me? Chris is about to take his trip to California. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen out there, but I felt like Tiana Wallace was about to be an orphan. I knew I didn't want any ties to that. As I was sitting there contemplating all of this in my robe, sipping my wine on this Friday evening, my doorbell rings. I was not expecting company. I opened the door and found Sean. My heart skipped a beat. I was shocked but recovered quickly. I forced a smile and told him with a slightly slurred speech, hey, come on in. Shit, I'm way more intoxicated than I thought. Sean entered looking around suspiciously, then turned to me and smiled, saying, you haven't been returning my calls. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I'm fine. He obviously was not here out of concern. He was checking to see who was here. Sean was controlling like that. Yes, even though we were not together and he was dating someone else, he started to make his way to the living room. I attempted to put a quick end to the visit, but it came out a little more directly than I intended. So, since you can see I'm fine, you can let me go to bed now. Part of me wanted him to stay. As he entered the living room, I was forced to follow Sean. I was forced to follow. Sean was very direct with his next inquiry. Is someone else waiting for you? No, but Sean, we're not together. You're not. Hold on. We're not together. You're dating someone else. I can fuck whoever I choose. With this, Sean became irate. He fiercely slammed me to the ground, then pulled out a 22 and sat it on the table, and sat it on the end table. He turned to me calmly. I was scared. My voice quivered as I pleaded to him, Sean, please stop. Quincy is here. How did we get here? How did we get to the point that he was in my living room threatening me with a gun? He knelt he knelt on one knee and got right in my face to say, you're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you. He stood up, composing himself. I was terrified as I whimpered, Sean, that's not love. Sean picked up his gun and cocked it. He looked at me almost thoughtfully and asked, have you ever heard, if I can't have you, no one can? Sean, please don't. Please. Quincy, we're here. Sean smiled and put the gun away, saying, "Oh, this is just for dramatic effect. I would never shoot you. If I was going to kill you, no one would trace it to me. You know how many people I've had to take care of? You know how many people I had to take care of over the years? It would be quiet, something in your food or drink, something that would never get back to me. I wouldn't shoot you. Do you understand?" I could only nod, tears flowing down my cheeks. He looked at me thoughtfully as he reached down to help me up. I could do nothing but agree. He's a terrifying monster. Now he wanted to smooth it over, and I had to go along with it. What else could I do? Listen, baby, I don't ever want to hurt you. You know I really love you, or I would have moved on. Thinking about living my life without you is just too hard. If someone ever tried to hurt you, I would kill them. My back hurt from what my back hurt from where I hit it on the end table when when he shoved me. All I could do as he helped me up was nod that I understood through my streaming tears, which he wiped. He looked toward Quincy's room. Let me say goodnight. Sean, no, Sean, please. He's thinking, shit. Hold on. I can barely see this text. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. All right. Where was I? All I could do, hold on. All I could do as he helped me up was nod that I understood through my streaming tears, which he wiped. He looked toward Quincy's room. Let me say goodnight. No, Sean, please. He thinking quickly. He has to get up in the morning. Sean looked at me with an unreadable look. He was studying me. Okay, I'm gonna go. Nervously, I walked him to the front door. This is over, thank God. He kissed me. I didn't want him touching me, but I couldn't refuse. Kiss Quincy for me. I tried to keep my composure as I replied, "Sure, Sean." He opened the door to leave. The bodyguard that was waiting outside, escorting him to the car. This was for worse. This was far worse than I realized. Why would he need a bodyguard at my front door? How was that? How was he anticipating this to go? After I shut the door, I had another drink. For tonight, the nightmare was over. I sipped on my wine and cried. The next few days, he sent dozens of flowers. He bought Quincy expensive toys. He didn't want me, but he wanted to keep me. But he wanted to keep his secret. I'm trapped. He has the authorities under his thumb. I can't go to them. This is like a gangster movie. How high up does his power go? How far is his reach? The FBI, the CIA, who is not corrupted or won't get silenced by their upper chain of command? Can anyone help me and my child? He found his way back into my bed. I had no choice. What do you think? I mean, I think she had to became such a, she has become such a victim to him that she really thought he had more power than he actually had. What do you think, babe?
I don't know. He had a lot of power. I mean, she was a victim and all, but she had a lot of power. Shit, if I was a woman, I'd probably be
I
scared
mean,
too.
yeah,
Shit.
but he didn't have. I don't think he had no power with the FBI and the CIA. I mean, come on, he's just a fucking music producer. He, I don't.
Well, yeah, he probably didn't have that kind of power, but
Of course not.
he had pull.
Of course he did. Because if he had that kind of power, they wouldn't have raided his house. They wouldn't have. He clearly didn't have that kind of power. Anyways, getting back to what happened in this chapter, I don't want to deflect from this, but it's clear to me that this man is very violent when it comes to women. It almost make me think that P Diddy might have had mama issues. Like maybe he had some issues that stem from his childhood because I'm noticing like with Cassie and with um, Kim Porter and all the other women allegedly that he beat on. I mean, it either he had mama issues, or I'm thinking that he had a disgust for women because he was really into men, but was forced to live a life uh, like he enjoyed women. What do you think?
Well, I mean, not every man that beats on women have mother issues. Some men just like to just beat on the prey. You
Well,
know,
that's why I just said some of them might not have mama issues, but I think it was my personal opinion is I think maybe he did it because he was beating on women because he really didn't care for women, like he was into men, but he couldn't live his life out loud because everything is just now getting into place where people who where homosexual people can actually come out the closet and just be free with it. Back then, back in '94, like this is like keep in mind this was back in 1994. People was very much so still against homosexuality. So yeah, this is a time. 1994 was definitely a time where he would be. That was not a time to come out. People were still shaming people for their sexual preference back then. So I think that's what it was.
they still shame people now, but
Oh no, no, I don't think so. I think gay people are living
especially in
free.
the
They living their best life now.
yes, they are, but not in the hip hop industry. In the hip hop industry, if you say that if they have an inkling of an idea that you might be gay or whatnot, it's a problem in the hip hop
No,
industry.
that's well. I was just saying that's only for people that's only for rappers. Like everybody else that decide they want to come out in the industry, that's fine. That's usually for people that came out pretending to be gangsters and rappers and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they find out they pushing both ways. Then yeah, I can understand why they will be slut shamed then because you go, you came out like you was this gangster rapper, and then turn around, you're not.
No, no, no. Diddy ain't never Diddy ain't never portrayed to be a gangster rapper.
What
That's why I called him
he
so
did?
lame.
No. Diddy did used to try to push a persona that he was a gangster, like he was about that life.
His artist was, but
No,
not
he
him.
used to pretend like he was about that life too, babe.
Oh no,
Oh
no.
yeah, he used to.
Shit.
He
Diddy
used to
used to be
take that,
running
take
down.
that, take that.
That's not. He was talking about taking ass. That's the fuck he was talking about taking.
You know what? You definitely gotta go to church today, cause you in that mouth today is.
Church
Hmm.
ain't gonna help me. Church is not gonna help me now.
Okay, so what do you think about chapters 8 through 11?
A pretty interesting chapters. I thought it was.
I thought it was too because now we know, well, allegedly, that he put a hit on Biggie as well as Tupac, and we know that we found out that. Let me say this: is it crazy that Jada Pinkett and Will Smith is always in somebody's entanglement?
It wouldn't be them if it wasn't the Pickens. Jada and Will. Jada and Will. They always turn somebody out, allegedly. Look at Poe August. Lord have mercy. He
Right.
done went from straight to super gay.
Right. It's just weird to me how they are always in somebody's entanglement. Like always. Like this is I don't know. Okay. Well, I don't really have a lot to say about this chapter other than the fact that um, I just think P Diddy, if all of this is true, uh, this book is enough to seal his fate in
By the
prison.
way, I didn't think Diddy was like all the way gay. I thought he was just bisexual.
No,
I mean,
I
he's the man bisexual.
I mean, I don't know because Kim Porter said that she realized that he really was gay. He really was into men and more into men, way more into men than he was women. And I think, like, do you remember that video? When he came, there was a video that surfaced, and he had on the wig and he was dressed like a girl, a dress. He had on a dress and a wig. You remember that video?
They were calling him Auntie Sean. Yeah, I
Right?
remember
Yeah.
that. Auntie Diddy.
TT Diddy. So my point of what I'm saying is I think he's always been like I said, I think he was quietly trying to live a life that he was not. I think that's why he give these women so much pressure, because he was trying to live a life that wasn't conducive to what he wanted. I think P Diddy wanted to be free to love on and be with who he wanted to be with, but at the same time, like you said, he had an image to maintain, so he had to hide it. He had to keep it in the closet.
Is he stuck in the closet?
He trapped in the closet.
Oh, he trapped. He trapped. That nigga trapped.
Well, not anymore. What you know? What which is crazy to me? I feel like once the LGBT movement happened, P Diddy should have just came on out and just said, "Hey, you know what? I've always been into men," and that could have just killed all of this.
Nah, he couldn't. He can't do that. The reason why he couldn't do that, you also have artists up under you, that you try to maintain, and they supposed to be gangster rappers or whatnot, or just rappers. They ain't trying to affiliate with no shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I guess. Anyways, well, that's all I got to say about this particular this part of the series, because I mean, there's a lot I could say, but I think at this point everybody probably is then already made their opinion and decided that P Diddy is definitely guilty in their minds. I don't think there is one person that would say he's innocent at this point. Do you?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, Ray J came out and said he ain't never seen no strange shit going on at these.
Who said that?
Ray J at what they call it, freak offs. He ain't never seen nothing strange like that.
Oh my god!
So I don't know.
I will.
Outside looking in.
I will reserve my comment about Ray J, because I reserve my comment about that. I'm not gonna say nothing about that.
Ray J said he had her first. That's all he said.
He had who first?
That's the song he came out with.
He talking Kim Porter?
No, man. It's a song Ray J came out with. I had her first. He's talking about Kim Kardashian.
Oh Lord. I mean, he might well get over that now, because like Kanye done signed his name in that cat.
Kanye done plowed that ass. Well, how many kids that nigga got?
By 12. He never put 12 babies up in that ass. Okay, do you have any last comments about this part of the series?
Oh no. Clearly everything is now definitely unfolding. We get deeper into the book. Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to see what's going to happen in the next 4 chapters. So, if I have time after church, we're going to come back, drop part 4 to the series for you guys, because we are a day behind. So, all right, guys. So, we will see you in the next episode.
All right. Good afternoon. We'll see you later.
Later.